Hey everybody, this is Peter B, and it's Monday, August 12th. A lovely day in New England. I wanted to do this outside on my deck, but it was a little windy. I set things up and they were just being blown around, so decided to come inside. Well, what's so special about today? This is my biggest mail day ever. I've been waiting for some things to come, and they all came today, all at once. So I was very excited, and I want to show you what they are. I got a bunch of cards, and then I also got the card that I've been waiting to come in. It's the card I mentioned in Darren's VR, Darren Returned to Collecting, and I finally got that, so I will show that. But first, I got these three Japanese cards in. They're 1948 Menko JCM 2. Real cool graphics on it. Excuse me. This is the Yuzo Sanda. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it. All three of the backs look like this. Blue baseball back, it's called. And I just thought they looked real cool. Pitcher throwing a ball in with the second baseman trying to see where the ball is going to go to home plate. Real cool. Now, a lot of cards in this set are generic players. I got these three because they're actual players. This one's neat. Guy at bat. Either a coach or a guy on deck. Must be a coach. In back looking at him. And this is Tetsuhara Kawakami. Once again, real nice colors on these cards. Fantastic graphics. And the third one I got, he could be a infielder throwing the ball, or he could be a pitcher. So that's either probably second baseman or shortstop in the background, or could be an outfielder in the background. And this is Missionary Toboshe. Once again, I'm sure that's not the correct pronunciation, but best I can do. I haven't looked up yet how these players fared or what position did they actually play. I will do that. Something to look forward to. And that's the best thing about collecting cards you're not sure of. Like, I know nothing about Japanese cards. I just thought the cards were nice looking. So I bought them. Then I'll have fun looking up the players on Google and learning about them. Same thing if you're thinking about getting into pre-war cards. I have a lot of T206s, T205s. I knew all the Hall of Famers, but I didn't know the common players. But that's part of the fun. Getting a common player, a card that you like the looks of, and then learning about the player. Learn about what he did, how was he, anything interesting about him in his life. So don't be afraid to get your feet wet in pre-war, or Japanese for that matter. Okay, so that was the first order that came in. I thought was real neat. Okay, the next one. I have cards from the 1800s, a lot of cards from the 1800s. I have some non-sport cards from the 1870s, but not baseball. But this is my first baseball card, and it's from 1878, so it's my oldest baseball card. It is a Huntley and Palmer biscuit cards. It's from England. Kind of weird that England We do an older card, easy to get, than something from the USA. But it's an English card depicting players playing ball. Note that the catcher does have a face mask, but no shin guards, no other protection, and the players do not have gloves. And that's the way it was played in 1878. Diamond with looks like some bats in the foreground, and a dugout or a guy on deck in the background to the left, stands, and then a fence way back there. Pitcher and third baseman. And at first, that's how you would play third base. You would be right on third base. It wasn't until later they started to move over so they have better chances of getting an out. And here's the back of it. Tells you all about their biscuits, what kind they carry. So 1878, Huntley and Palmer's biscuits. And Doug from Decon Sports Cards, he recently got this card. So now we and Doug share the same card. Now I want to show you the card I got the day after Darren did his VR request. I bought it. I've been wanting this card for a long time, maybe many years. And as soon as I saw that video, I said, that's the card I'm going to mention. And lo and behold, the very next day, I got it. I had to go to eBay authentication, and finally came in today. I hinted that it was a Boston player in the first video I did for Darren. And now I will hint that yes, indeed, it's a Boston player, and it is a Gowdy. It's a 1935 Gowdy 4-in-1 of this Boston player. And if you hadn't guessed, here's the card. Babe Ruth as a Boston Brave. I always wanted to get a Babe Ruth as a Boston Brave. Come from Boston, Yankees were always the enemy. But Babe Ruth as a Boston player was great. Now, I would love to have Babe Ruth as a Boston Red Sox, but those are totally beyond my means. Way too expensive. So the next best thing is to have the Boston Brave Babe Ruth, and here it is. The Gowdy 4-in-1. Also has Rabbit Moranville. He is also a Hall of Famer. So there's 2 Hall of Famers on this card. There is the back. Beautiful card. It graded a 2, but that doesn't matter to me as long as it's authentic. Beautiful card. Very proud to finally own a Ruth pictured in a Boston. Well, it's really still the Yankee uniform, but he's depicted as a Brave. And the funny thing about this card, Dylan just picked up this card at the National. So Doug picked up same card as me of that trade card, and Dylan just picked up this exact card at the National. So I finally got a Babe Ruth Boston card. Not the Red Sox, unfortunately, but Boston Braves. But I didn't stop there. I also got a Type 3 photo of Babe Ruth in the Boston uniform. There he is. pitcher threw over to try to pick him off. And there he is, scrambling back to first. Now remember, this is old Babe. I believe it's the last season he actually played. He was player, but also assistant manager for the Boston Braves. This is actually a spring training game, so Babe Ruth is really out of shape. And I just thought that was cool. Here's the whole thing. Babe Ruth as a Boston Brave. So now I have the card. And I also have this is a type 3 photo. Type 3 means it was not from the original negative, but from a photo that was from the original negative and then duplicated in the same time period the photo was taken. This photo is actually from 1935. Now, there's someone's butt in the picture, and I'll tell you who that is once I turn the card around, because the cool thing is it was used in the newspapers twice, and there's copies of them on the back. So on March 30th and March 31st, 1935, I don't know which one, this was in the paper. So that is from the paper. And then it was used a second time in another paper from June 4th, 1968. But it was March 1935. That clearly indicates it is from the same time period as when it was taken, but it is determined to be a duplicate of the original. So it's a type 3. Now, that butt you're looking at, this is spring training, which is key. It says a first baseman by the name of Mize from Cincinnati tried to catch Ruth napping at first. Result, none. The Babe gets back in time, but look at that face. It's hard work for Ruth. Ruth is getting into shape for his first season as a Brave. He's also assistant manager, so there is Ruth huffing and puffing, trying to get back to first base. Now, this Mize guy from Cincinnati is actually Hall of Famer Johnny Mize. For spring training in 1935, he was traded, I believe, from the Cardinals to the Reds. He played for the Reds during spring training. But then right after spring training, before the official game started, he was traded back to the Cardinals. So Johnny Mize was the Reds' first baseman in 1935. So that's his butt. So pretty cool. Not only Babe Ruth in a Boston uniform, but a Johnny Mize, very young Johnny Mize, Cincinnati Reds. I got two more things to show you. Oh, let me show you this. It says PSA Authentic, Type 3, News Service Photograph, 1935, Babe Ruth. So it has been authenticated by PSA. Now, you know I love collecting buyback cards. And I have a buyback binder. Well, also today came in 2 buyback cards I was waiting for. And the first one is 1969 Ted Shows How, with Mike Epstein and Ted Williams. Ted Williams was the manager of the Senators, and there he is giving some pointers on hitting to Mike Epstein. And the back of the card, and there's a nice buyback stamp. So that will go into my binder. And one other card, I get that. Another card that will go back into my binder. I have a Babe Ruth buyback. Now, it's not a Playing Days Babe Ruth, but it is a Babe Ruth. It's the Allen and Ginter, Topps Allen and Ginter 10th anniversary issue buyback. And there's the back. It's card number 3 to go along with Ruth's number. Now, I already have a card number 3 in my buyback binder, but this card's going to trump it. So that will come out of my binder, the other one, and this one will go into my binder in slot number 3. Now, I've done this a couple of times. I will be breaking open the slab. Some people might think I'm crazy to 9.5. Why you want to break the slabs? Because right now, to me, the slabs means it's an authentic card. I don't really care about the number. This is my collection, and I just want the card in the binder with all the other buybacks. So we'll be broken out. I will put it in, and then behind the card I will put this label that it was once upon a time a 9.5, but I want it in my binder. That's for all the others. So when I look at my binder, which I'm actually really proud of, and I have a shipment from ComC that's due in with a bunch of cards to fill in empty slots. And when I get them, I think I'm going to show you my binder up to date, and it's halfway or more than halfway full. And it's something I've been working on for a few years now, and I'm really proud of it. So, Darren, once again, congratulations for 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. This is the card that I mentioned I will be showing when I get it. The 1935 Gaudi 4-and-run. Ruth and Moranville. And like I said, I mean, how can I not be happy today? My biggest mail day ever. So let me know which one you like the best, and let me know if you think I'm crazy breaking open that Allen and Ginter slab. Well, I wish every one of you a very happy Monday, and take care.